everybody. My name is Mahael Abdul-Qawi. I'm the founder and representative of the Accountability Party for Human Rights, a political vanguard organization comprised of individuals who have chosen a path of self-awareness and self-understanding to become something more for themselves, for their loved ones, and for their communities across this country. On this platform, on the Accountability Shorts, is a way for myself and other members of the party to discuss matters that are more principle-based and morale and things that we believe every human being should, if not adopt, they should have at least the conversation about these things and be the example and try to implement them. On a Who's Accountable podcast, that platform is a way for myself and other members of the party to shine a spotlight on those politically who are actively working to suppress and oppress the working class people of this country. For today's video, I would like to talk about what is currently going on in this day and age in the United States of America with the vaccine mandates. And although there's a lot of politics that can be talked about when it comes to the vaccine mandates, what I want to talk about more so is something that I've touched upon in a previous video about the idea of fear and how the vaccine mandate is being used as another tool of segregation, separation, that is only affecting the working class people of this country. We have right now where the media, the Biden administration, the way they are presenting this vaccine information, the way they are going about the selected words that they're using, it's all planting the seeds, and they're watering the seeds themselves of this idea and thought process that those who choose to say, I do not want to get vaccinated, that these people are some natural born enemy, that these people are monsters, that these people are stopping you from having your fun. We're at this point where we are casting others. We are doing a witch hunt amongst ourselves. We are judging those amongst ourselves based on their choice to say, I want this or not. And a lot of the institutions that are pushing for people to be vaccinated are the same institutions that have training exercises that say no boss can force his employees to do something for their own. For example, a boss cannot say to an employee of theirs, I need you to do this sexual act so that way you get your paycheck. There's current trainings against, it's not just that it is a sexual act. We have to find a common denominator between the vaccines and sexual misconduct. The common denominator is you're forcing somebody to do something that they do not want to do, so that way they can get some type of gain that you're controlling. And in doing this, we are forcing this mindset that those who are not vaccinated are stopping me. I'm not vaccinated, but in the case of example, somebody that is vaccinated, you're stopping me from going out and having my fun. Why should I care about you? And that is something that this hyper-individualism state that we live in is producing. And I've touched on this hyper-individualism in previous videos, this consumer-based society that we live in, where it's just on the extreme end of life, where it's all about yourself and what you do, but it's not about your survival, it's about your needs and your desire. It's not about your needs and for survival, it's about your desires and what your wants are. They're able to keep you fiending. They're able to keep you in this tug of war with people in your own community, with your own family, because they're playing into your desires. Oh, you're tired out. Life is stressful. You should be able to go outside and have fun, have a couple of drinks, go to a restaurant. You should be able to do that because, yes, life is hard. But these people over here, they're the ones making it hard for you. But where's the accountability in that? Those who are unvaccinated aren't doing anything besides living their life. Most people who are unvaccinated, they're not walking in the streets coughing on other people as the media wants you to see them as. Because if anything, it is those who are vaccinated, who I've personally seen in the last several weeks in my day-to-days of going out, who aren't following basic hygiene because they feel like this vaccine is going to protect. When has a vaccine ever been promoted this way, where it is seen as your end-all be-all to living a life? We've had many vaccines in the past. We've had many diseases in the past. And of course, if COVID was on the terms of Ebola, where it's killing people, I would understand it. But even Ebola isn't spread as fast as COVID is because of the way the disease operates. Give me a disease that is a fusion of COVID and Ebola, then yes, you might have a different conversations amongst everybody. But you're forcing people to take something. And they're not only forcing them to take it, you're planting the seeds and watering them for more segregation and separation amongst the people. The vaccines are the new separation tool perpetrated by the elites solely for the working class. Because how many celebrities are vaccinated, unvaccinated, and please, besides the systems that make them do it, like if you are an athlete and you have to, besides those things specifically, those who are elites, I would not be surprised if a lot of them aren't vaccinated. Because again, they have the money to just do whatever they want. It's the working class people, the majority. We have to abide by this to fit their standards. This is not a thing of unvaccinated people protecting vaccinated working class people. It's not a unvaccinated working class protecting vaccinated working class. This is unvaccinated people affecting the fun and the freedom, quote unquote, of the elites. The elites want to go back to doing what they have to do, but at the same time, they have to impose things to show that they're doing their job. So this is where we currently are. Meanwhile, as the elites keep pushing for their fun and freedom, again, trickle down economics, trickle down ego, those who are vaccinated look at the elites as if they're the shining examples of how to live a life. So the ignorant vaccinated working class people who are condoning segregation amongst those who are unvaccinated, you're doing it simply so that way you can go out. When did your drink, when did your concert matter than the livelihood of other people? And I think it's weird that when people start to compare what is going on to previous things, like segregation, like Nazi Germany, oh, you can't do that. You can't compare. Those were atrocious. Those were human crimes against humanity. Well, guess what? This right here with the vaccine is a long line of crimes that America has been doing. So if we're going to be talking about crimes, it's more than just slavery. It's been over 200 years of things in between that can be counted as crimes against humanity. So what I'm trying to bring up in this conversation right now about this is, again, not that you should or should not take the vaccine. I don't care, especially if you're the working class people. I support the working class. I support the working class having a choice that benefits their safety and their livelihood. What we need to be talking about is you have these people, I can't even call them people, these corrupt beings who just so happen to manipulate their way into having power, not even earned it through trial and tribulation. They've manipulated their way to having it and to uphold their way of life for the greater good. They're forcing the people to fight amongst each other, shoot each other, but not the evil. Where are we at? And why is it that the people are feeding into this? Again, like I said in previous videos, you don't have to live your day-to-day caring 100% about what your neighbor's doing. You don't have to care what's going on in Israel. But to have the stance as in my own existence and my experience matters more is a difference between saying, man, I can't do anything. So, like, I don't expect I don't expect people to drop everything they're doing in their own realm of survival and go overseas or even go somewhere here in the United States and save people. I'm not saying you have to save people, but what happened to just caring? What happened to just putting us, the greater good, the working class are the greater good of society. We are the common good because there's more of us. So what we say for each other matters more than what these celebrities and these politicians and these CEOs have to say about anything. It doesn't. They will be fine regardless of what happens, and that's what people need to see. We are currently fighting each other, and they are unaffected. Everything that happens is solely so that way they can keep living their lives blissful as can be. Meanwhile, you have us fighting each other, keeping ourselves separated. There needs to be a point where we just look deep down and be like, together we are strong. Everything you are chasing because Uncle Sam wants you to think that you don't need it. What you need is to make sure that you're right within. And I think that's where we're currently at. People are so easily manipulated because we're not right within. Capitalism, Uncle Sam, the powers that be, the Illuminati, whatever you want to title this thing, I don't care. But this agenda has crippled us physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, where they can impose mandates like this. They can bring up these tools of separation, and the working class people feed into it. Because people who are right within a society that is enabled to be themselves and to be strong, they would not fall so easily prey, so easily victim to what's going on for the sake of safety. If the people were strong, we would create our own safety out of understanding, through dialogue, through conversations. America is what it is, but at least once upon a time we had a saying, one nation under God. We had something uniting all of us, even if it was a facade. At least it was something. What are we unified against? Oh, the fact that we're all slaves? That's not a unification that I want to be subjugated to. And inshallah, I don't know where it will go with this, because the seeds of fear are that's a plant that's not, a little flower. That's a tree. That's a tree that's going to keep growing, and the branches are going to keep stretching, and the roots are going to keep extending outward. And if it's not stopped now, inshallah, I hope that people somewhere within their hearts, I don't think that it's truly corrupted. I don't think trickle-down economics and trickle-down ego have 100% corrupted the people, but it definitely has a hold. And I can only pray that there is something that just shakes up people enough where we put each other before our desires, and we put it before the sake of corporate and things and stuff. I don't know.